Hey. The fuck? That's what the Mevo does.
Yeah, what the fuck? Are we live?
I think so. I don't know.
I think
Hold
so.
on.
I think so. I don't know.
I want to, because I did that because I want.
Wait, did I get a notification saying you're live?
Probably.
No.
Does it say live?
No, I don't see it. Hold on. I don't know if we're live. It says 0 people.
If it says anything, then we're live. So that's what I'm about.
How come it doesn't say live? Like, it doesn't say, like, physically say live. Let me go to subscriptions because I subscribe to the Daniel Norton show.
No, we're up. There's 8 people watching.
There's
hey guys,
8?
sorry.
Oh, that's an 8, not a 0?
That's an 8. You obviously need new glasses. Hey guys,
These are new
sorry.
glasses. I got
we
them
have,
for
we have no idea how to do this as usual.
Where? I don't see the
Seth
stream.
was criticizing my framing earlier.
There's no stream. I don't see it.
I see 8 people watching.
Well, I don't see the stream.
There's 21 people
What?
watching.
How come
Hey
I can't
guys,
find it?
Sorry, let me go onto my YouTube so I can find this thing.
Oh, so we are live.
We're live. We're 100% live. Yes.
Okay.
Hey guys,
Are we too dark?
I think we are, but the Mevo is automatic. So.
I mean, I love how you're a photographer, but somehow we put the light back there behind some black.
You know why? Because we can move the black thing. I'm fine with that.
I don't even see it on
I
here.
said to Seth, hey, do you want to put the black background behind us? And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, should we turn on a light? And he fucking walked over and turned on the studio light. That's all I'm going to say.
No. What you're going to say is, all you asked me is, should I turn on a light? And I said, yeah. Click.
I mean, it is a total light, but it's like way over there.
Well, we got that secret light over there that we can't use. I can't find it anywhere. How are these
I
people
don't see
finding
it
this
either.
live stream?
I don't know how are you guys finding this. We can't find it.
I can't find it anywhere.
We're trying to find it so we can talk to you, but I don't see the stream.
Is that it right there? Working
Nope.
relation? No.
Nope. That's the one yesterday from Marissa.
Okay. So I don't know where this
I know
is.
how to do it. Sorry guys, hang on.
Wait.
This is new for us.
Hooray.
Oh.
Another one's been a while. Hey, what's up, Mike James?
Okay, we can see it there, I guess. Sorry guys, we have no idea how to work this thing.
Yeah, let's get a better frame up first. Okay. Sorry, I'm really sorry. First of all, this guy, let me just tell you the day I've had with this guy. Number one, he goes, we're gonna go to George's Coffee. Let's go to George's. You never been to George's Coffee? Oh, you're gonna love George's Coffee. It was fucking Gregory's. It's a fucking chain. Gregory's.
It was in fact Gregory's.
George's Coffee.
Yeah, because I was surprised because I was like, no, but you
And
like.
then you go up to her and say, is a cold brew cold? What is it cold? It's in the title. Is this hot chocolate hot?
Because Seth was like, I want a cold brew, and then I was like, well, that sounds good, but I want to make sure that it's cold because it's hot in New York today. So I said, is the cold brew cold? Because you could cold brew it and then.
Oh,
heat it
you're
up.
such a tool. I mean, it's the cold brew cold here at George's. George's Coffee. Holy shit.
I didn't even know Gregory's was a chain, to be honest with you.
However, we did end up at Comic-Con today.
That's right. We're at Comic-Con. We are doing a panel.
What they call a panel, but what we call a demo.
Yeah, we are invading the panel space by doing a demo. So we're going to trash the tables.
We're gonna trash the tables.
I asked him, I'm like, can we move these tables? He's like, well, it's taped down.
Yeah,
Oh, can we move them?
They taped down all the power, and we're like, we're gonna rip it all up.
Yeah, we're going to have to tear that up. Sorry, that's just how we work.
That's just how we roll.
So, okay, so I guess we're up in the middle of the day.
All right, so what did we want to talk about?
Still alive. Yes. I don't know. We're going to talk about Comic-Con and you're back and life. Tribulations of being a separate.
It's the tribulation of being separate. I don't have you coming up at all. Look, I don't know how you guys found this stream.
Oh, it's unlisted. It's unlisted.
You're a dick. Holy shit, Norton.
Stand by.
Holy shit, Norton. How did they even find it? Wait, how did you guys find
Because
the
they
stream?
probably are followers.
I'm following.
Well, not a very good follower, apparently.
What the fuck, man?
Publish. There we go. Okay. So now you've learned that whenever you come to one of these, the first minute and a half is.
Oh, Fernando Martinez just came in.
Fernando.
No, that's just to do a kick of football.
Hold on,
It's
hold
just
on.
a-
What, do you have the full man bun going on? Let's see it.
He's got the Superman curl. Look.
Oh, look at
Look
that.
at everything. How's it
Looking
going?
good. Fernando.
Are we live?
We're
Yeah.
live. If you guys don't know, this is Fernando. I don't know how you know
Fernando Martinez.
They don't see me.
Because Fernando is the representation of your eyes when you're watching the videos because he is the creator of them.
Oh, there we go.
So he's here to do something that we can't talk about because it's not been released yet. So we're not saying anything.
Is it on a USB key? How do you have it? Yeah.
Oh, look at that. So we're doing stuff.
And we're gonna reveal it Saturday. Yeah.
So I will say this. Apparently, should we say that we're going to do this? We're probably going to try to stream from Comic-Con, even though you're not supposed to do it.
Angry Seth and Daniel. How am I fucking angry? Whatever. Fuck all you guys.
So I said to Seth, I'm like, let's go to that coffee place that you guys like, George's.
And I'm like, oh, there's some secret place around here? He says, Fernando loves this place, George's. And I'm like, oh, it's got to be a good spot. It's fucking Gregory's. And then he goes, cold brew? Is that cold?
By the way, it was cold. If anyone is curious about that.
You're such a dick.
Anyways, so yeah. Saw the events now on YouTube. See, told you. This is actually kind of good because that means that we've learned something. I can make an event for my followers by making it unlisted and then do an event.
But you hit the notification bell, right? Like,
yeah, you gotta
it's
hit
not
the bell.
that just you're subscribed.
Yeah, so if anybody ever watches in the future, know that if you want to see these top secret, i.e. I set it up wrong videos, you gotta hit the bell.
I did hit the bell.
Cool. All right. He's not angry. He's from Brooklyn. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
That's my T-shirt. I'm not angry.
look, and Cliff is calling. Hold on.
Oh, Cliff. Hey, Cliff.
Hey, Cliff.
Cliff from Pro Photo, who's a legend, by the way.
Hey, Cliff. By the way, you're on live stream.
We're on live, so ease up. Are you there?
I'm here.
I'm talking to Cliff on my watch.
Got it.
It feels cold, doesn't it?
It does. I feel very much from the future.
You have to put it closer to your phone. So
We're
we can
also
hear.
live streaming,
We're live streaming on Daniel's channel right
so
now.
I don't know if they can hear you or not.
So if you
but
don't know
might
who
be.
Cliff Hausner is, he's a legend in the photo industry, and he represents Pro Photo.
Yeah. Did you get my email?
I did get your email, and you sound a little bit like Dick Tracy. Not that anybody would know who that is. But,
Can you guys hear this?
So here's what I'm gonna do. We should, when you get done with your class, we'll go over the list because there's some things I have and some things I don't. So we should go over that list to make sure we're good for tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
You know it's for Saturday, not tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's for Saturday. We'll call you after then, Cliff. Thank
I
you
have
so
a
much.
pass for you.
Excuse me?
Hum and ambient. Hum and ambient. That's probably the air conditioner.
Oh.
All right, Cliff. We'll reach out after this.
Sorry, guys.
Thanks, brother. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry about that, guys. We had to take that call because without Cliff, we can't do our demo at Comic-Con.
That's right. He's bringing us a
Saturday.
bunch of stuff to use for the demo.
That's kind of like the best part of what we do is that we just call up reps and go, "Hey, we need this stuff. Can we do it?"
Well, because we want to use the new B10s,
The new B10s.
which you don't have yet. So
We're gonna mix B10s, B1Xs, and A1s for this one,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna do some top secret lights for the first time, which we can't show you. But some of you saw what those top secret lights look like. If you follow my Instagram, you saw me live from Amsterdam looking like a maniac.
with no shirt on.
So I had no shirt on. Would you fucking stop?
It's like 3:00 in the morning. I look at my Instagram notifications. Seth is live.
With
I
the
turn it
laugh.
on.
The laugh.
He's got a laugh wrapped around his neck, shirtless in this hotel room in Amsterdam with red lights. He's like, "These are so bright."
They are. They were so bright. I went live for like an hour and a half. I didn't even realize it. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Look at how bright these are.
They were so we used these lights in Paris, and they were so bright. We had them green that when we opened the door to the hallway, all the rest of the light looked magenta pink. We were like, our rods and cones were ripping
my
apart in our eye sockets.
Well, you know what's interesting about LEDs, anyways, and I mean these are bright. So this is not to say that, but when they first started pitching them a lot, and they weren't very bright. That's what the reps would always do. They'd be like, "Look at these, they're bright." And they'd
Put it right
point
in
them
your
at you
face.
because they're point sources. Of course, they're like burn your fucking
Then
eyeballs out.
before they changed the technology in the LED itself, they started putting these chopped up lenses around them that were mirrors, and it wasn't just that it was brighter; it was reflecting harder.
Yeah.
So then they would put even closer to your face.
Yeah, it's like-
it was like, what are you fucking doing?
So it was very painful, and it actually wasn't much brighter. So this is why, if you ever hear me bashing LEDs, I have a bad reputation.
LEDs
I lived that, but they're definitely getting.
They're
much
growing
better.
on me. Those blonde color ones that we saw at Photokina were fucking amazing.
God. So nice. So there's a lot of good stuff coming out, like the Gemini and stuff that we've used.
Seen that looks. Oh yeah, so you saw my live stream. Yeah, that live stream was awesome. I don't think. I'm glad.
Seth live streams are awesome.
Oh, they're asking me if I'm going to be at Adorama tomorrow, and the answer to that is no.
Seth
It's
will not be
Comic Con week, yo.
No Adorama for us tomorrow. I don't think I need anything there, so no. But next week I'll be there because people always ask me this, so I'm going to be live on Adorama no, it's not next week.
What? It's
16th,
the 16th and the
18th. 16th and the 18th. It's a Tuesday and a Thursday. So that should be different, if people can't normally catch the Thursdays. And we're going to try to do something with the demo together now that Seth's back, me and you. Not at the store, but here.
Oh, yeah,
On
yeah.
this channel or
yeah,
their
yeah.
channel
Let us know
somewhere.
if there's something you guys want us to team up on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we're
we
doing
should do
one.
something.
We're doing it on Saturday, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to figure it out. Little Comic-Con action.
Oh, you know what I also have? I have my press pass, but I
What else
have a
is a press
special press pass because this press pass is actually from the Daily Bugle.
Oh.
So I shot for the same newspaper that Spider-Man shoots for. And there's the press pass. So we're just ballers. Wait, it gets better. Should I just do it? Oh, man. I'm sorry. I'm the richest man in Comic-Con. You don't need this, by the way.
Why?
You have a press pass, and you basically walk right up there anyway.
But he still wants it because he wants to be a baller.
You know how people would kill for these right now.
That's right. We should grab a random person to be on our panel.
Just give it to a homeless guy. Just let him go right into. Okay. You look homeless. No.
You're gonna walk in there and they're gonna charge you a shit ton of money for food.
No, you know why we don't need this? Because it's not in a room. It's not in a panel room. It's a floor show.
Yeah.
So you actually can just walk right in this. Those pass can actually go to someone else.
Yeah, I also shouldn't have bought a pass because apparently the panel is best to do from multiple places.
That's what we're gonna discuss
have
after
extra
the
people.
stream.
Curly girl.
That's when we get
Yeah.
off of stream. We'll talk about
Oh,
it.
I see.
Okay?
You want one for? Okay, that's fine.
Can
Yes,
she do
I
a
say-
BTS? Yes, that's what I want.
Okay, perfect. All right, good. So we might get a live stream because we might be bringing in but we're not supposed to do it, so we're not going to say anything. But be around on noontime on Saturday.
Yeah, we won't be
Eastern
able to talk to you guys, but
We're going to try to covert live stream.
Yeah, we're gonna try to cheat the system a little bit.
We'll try.
But if not, you'll see the video edited by Fernando for Adorama TV, which
Oh, you can do one for Adorama TV?
right?
Oh, because it's for.
yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So, yes. We'll discuss
Yes.
that.
We have to
What do we discuss?
This is the weirdest live stream. We can't talk about that. We can't talk to this
Basically,
guy.
We can't talk to you
we
at
can't-
all. Yeah, so what do you guys want to see us do together? Because we have not done a demo together in a while.
Yeah.
So if you have suggestions.
Would you like me to demonstrate how Daniel can't order coffee at a fucking spot? That he doesn't. I mean, holy shit, man. Or call people by the wrong names. The guy's name is Paul, not Kevin. He's like, I don't know.
I'm the worst with names.
You are the worst with names. Anyway, so
Yeah, tell us.
we it was a big month. Me and Fernando were out. We were in Europe. We went from Amsterdam to Paris to Cologne. Shot in all three cities. You were here killing it.
Something
you did
exciting happened for Fernando. Can we
Fernando
say
got engaged.
Okay, I guess we can say it.
Hey.
Fernando got engaged.
He got engaged.
There's an NPA on there.
There's an NPA on his engagement ring. He's
Listen,
gonna-
I don't know. I'm not the person who just says
So if you guys don't know Fernando, he's like responsible for almost all the videos you guys see on Adorama
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah,
he's
Fernando
one of-
is the man.
He's an amazing filmmaker.
Yep.
Stop it!
Film
Stop.
Fernando.
His beard's curling up even harder. Look at this.
Yeah, so Fernando's engaged now.
So that's awesome.
Very exciting.
Um,
He met the girl in Amsterdam and they got engaged in Paris.
Is that really what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, you met her here.
I mean, on this trip.
I don't know. Fuck you guys. You know.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the cold brew cold.
All right. Very good, sir. Jesus Christ. I just fucked myself up so bad.
I live for those moments.
Yeah, but you didn't get me. I got me. That's the thing.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, so I want to do more demo stuff from my channel. So maybe we'll do the demo on my channel, maybe, because we've done a bunch on your channel.
Several small lights, Seth style. Okay.
What do you want?
Several small lights, Seth style.
Yeah, I just like individual, like micro lighting is what I call it. But
All right. Yeah, we could do that.
we, between the two of us, we have 9 A1s.
Should we use 9 A1s?
Yeah, let's do it. We
All
were
right,
gonna make
we're-
a wall of A1s. Remember, we were gonna make that like flashy.
We'll light with 9 A1s.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. But maybe we'll do it on my channel because we've done it on this channel. So maybe we'll cross pollinate.
If we do it on Seth's channel, we'll make sure we somehow announce it over here so you guys can see it.
Well,
you know,
put it on
or
your
you can
community
follow.
board. Put it on your community
Yeah,
board.
but if you, but better would be for you to follow Seth.
So I kind of want to talk to you because
Go.
So Godox put out what they consider a round flash head that looks like an A1. And you have been doing rants about gear, and people have just been firing at you. Every time you use a pro photo, the next word out of someone's mouth is, but what about the Godox? So what do you feel is the actual benefit of someone knocking off an A1? Like, do you think that will even look like the A1? Should people even like, you know what I mean? It's just a flash with a round head. It's not the A1.
Yeah, this is interesting, right? So this happens, and actually, this happens a lot with your more like premium brands, where companies will directly rip them off. In fact, there was a company that was before Godox was the big. This is the best flash in the world company. They were the one who were ripping off Canon so bad that Canon bought the company.
What?
Yeah, it's go back like 2 years. They bought one of these like small flash companies. They were ripping them off so much and doing a decent enough job. The Canon was like, "We'll just buy you and make sure that it's right, and you'll just do." And they kept it alive, but they were like, "You're gonna copy us. We're just gonna buy you." But anyways,
it's the knockoffs that hurt the R&D, right?
Yeah. What ends up happening is you have to consider that when stuff is created, right? It's not just the cost of materials. Like, it's not like somebody suddenly, like, it's true that the plastic or the glass or whatever that goes into making such and such flash maybe doesn't cost that much more than the plastic and glass or whatever that goes into the flash, but the quality control, the R&D, all that other stuff makes a difference. And I can say 100% that's true. I worked earlier in my career developing shoes for Reebok when they were the #2 shoe company in the world. They've since gone south.
It's because you left, right?
That's because I left. But we did like the pump and that kind of stuff. And the thing is that this would happen all the time. And what would happen is in the same factory with the same people, shoes are being made. Yeah, without people watching quality control, without using the same quality product, without whatever. And they'd knock off our shoes and they would be terrible. They'd fall apart. We paid extra to get stuff made.
It's the engineering, right? Like the thing about the A1 is this lens on it is so perfect, and I mean perfect. It really hits
really nice.
Perfect. For someone to knock it off and just put out like a version of it, if it's not completely cut right, it's not doing the job. Period. It's a round shape. So when people tell me that, oh, but they make a light that's as good as, I'd rather have what's good.
Yeah, and I think you have to, and I mean, I guess. And I get it. Like, everybody wants everything, but I think my just general philosophy in life is I like to think long term. And if you just only buy these like cheap knockoffs of stuff, then what'll end up happening is the better stuff will either go away because they'll go out of business because they can't make stuff because they can't afford to pay good scientists and good technicians to make stuff, or it'll become crazy expensive because only a few people have.
I also want to mention this. While we were in Paris, one of my A1s hit the floor so fucking hard, I thought that everybody's brain was going to fall out of their skulls. I pick it up and I was looking for something that would be wrong on it. I'm shaking it, no rattle. I turn it on. I was like, the Fed's not going to focus. It focused. I was like, the LED's not going to go on. It went on. I was like, nothing happened to this thing. I might as well have just taken this thing and slammed it on the ground the way it fell. Now, I'm in Paris, I'm on the road, I have a job to do, technically 2 jobs to do, one for the client and one for Adorama doing the video. If I had a knockoff and that hit the ground and it shattered or didn't perform, I'm out. I'm out of light. I'd have to change my game up in a way I wasn't ready to do.
Buy another one though, Seth, the difference in price.
Oh, I could just run out offset.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, I could just stop my shoot.
Yeah.
You know, that alone, it made me put up a post saying like, this is why I buy quality, because I need to work and not worry about stupid things that can go wrong, you know?
Actually, you went like a month shooting with those things out in the field.
Yeah. I was on the road for 3 cities for a month with all A1s.
I've actually only used my A1s now, I think 5 or 6 shoots, and I'm pretty impressed with them.
I'm super. That's the word
I was a little bit depressed when they came with the B10.
Well, when he came out with that, I was going to kill him.
We bought a bunch of A1s.
No. We bought like a fucking fleet.
But now I'm glad I have them. I think they're very useful. The one thing I'm missing in them, which is killing me because I think I may have poked fun at you when you said it, is the built-in slave.
The optical.
The
I wanted the optical in that thing so
Yeah.
bad. The one thing that's killing me, especially being on the road, is while I was going through them, I was swapping batteries and I couldn't tell which batteries were still viable.
Yeah.
So on the battery, there's no gauge, but every other system they have, you can tell which batteries are charged. So you have to put it on, you unlock it, let it boot up, then you see it, then you turn it out. So it took me like...
That is true. Even some kind of a gauge would be so useful.
It killed me.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, and that's actually the battery is something they can change without changing the whole flash. So maybe they can update it. You're right.
Yeah,
They dropped a couple.
sometimes it's not about the price, about it just not failing. Period. And if you're rough on gear, and I'm definitely rough on gear, I've broken his gear.
Yeah, speaking of,
And his cup
because
holder.
Mike has mentioned the cup holder, the Nikon speedlights. Yeah, I dropped Seth's speedlight once.
Did
I don't know
you?
if that's in the video when we did the Tether Tools video.
Oh, and we were on the 12th floor of a
Yeah.
building. Oh
Yeah,
man, that's right.
And he just looked at me and said, "Did you just drop my speedlight?" That's exactly what he
I
said.
dropped the speedlight at a live demo and I broke off the wide angle adapter that flips out from the hood. So now that's always
nice.
my master flash.
Cool.
What was that saying? Young, newer, duplicate all kind of lighting for third of the price, but the quality suffers. Yeah, the quality definitely suffers with some.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Even
true.
the buttons fall out.
And again, like we're saying this because we've had a lot of coffee or whatever, and because we need it. Like you say, we're pros, we need it to work. It's true. Use never stop shooting. I don't ever want, whenever I'm bashing cheap gear or talking great about high-end gear or whatever I'm doing, I'm not saying don't shoot. Use what you got.
No, we don't bash
Just
the gear.
don't try to, don't believe the hype when people say that it's the same.
Yeah.
Because it's not. If you go back, like if you want to do internet, I don't even know how you can do it, but go back to the internet, search forums, whatever, but go back every 4 or 5 years, there's a company that comes forward that seems to be the one that's like as good as the expensive stuff, and why is it's not, it fades away.
Or it gets acquired.
Yeah, eventually people just start realizing it's not exactly the same. It's still good, it's like go for it. People are still shooting with alien bees. I'll tell you what, people were saying alien bees were better than brown color 10 years ago, whatever.
Bullshit.
Like like the same way they're saying everything else is. It just, I get it, but
But the
it's just
fact
not
that people
the
always act like a company's lying, like,
Yeah.
oh, this company, it's expensive, but it's a lie. Like, fuck you. I mean,
Also, I will tell you this: if you've ever, I don't know, and I never did it until I really moved to New York. Believe it or not, that was like almost 30 years. I bought like a really nice, like really expensive sweater. I know it seems weird, like from Guess. It was like a $250 sweater. I've never spent so much on thing in my life. And I'm like, why would anybody spend $250 on a sweater when you can get a fucking sweater for $15? Let me tell you something. That sweater was nice. It was worth it.
I was balling.
It was so comfortable. I still have it.
So someone said not failing period is a misleading statement. It could be a misleading statement, but when I have a flash hit, $1,000 flash hit the floor to a point where I thought it was going to shatter and it didn't fail, to me, that's not failing period.
Yeah.
You heard it. Your face was frightening you were more scared than me. It was my money.
I don't know, misleading. I can't say that I've. That's true. Everybody's equipment has a chance of failing. That's true.
And the other thing is, we're not knocking the gear. We're knocking the people that come at us relentlessly, like we're assholes, saying
I was
that we
kidnapped.
don't like the.
I was kidnapped
The less
by
expensive
alien
gear.
10 years ago. Oh, good for you.
What happened? I was kidnapped by aliens 10 years ago. Awesome. That's Randy Quaid. He really was kidnapped by aliens 10 years ago.
It's awesome.
He got back at him. You're dead, Randy Quaid. You already drove you flew a plane into the space show, and Independence Day.
Yeah, first one with lithium. Lithium batteries in the speedlights is an amazing.
Yeah, I'll
smart
say
thing
this:
to do.
the Flashpoint lithium.
Yeah.
We used those for the hands-on class back in May, and they held up really well. They did get hot, but they were beat to death. I mean, we were beating the hell out of those lights.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They did a good job. I don't know about the consistency. I will say that they do lower cost speedlights, in my opinion, always tend to shoot bluer. And that takes away from me mixing it with strobe systems. And that's where I fall short.
Well, that's it, right? Because you want to be able to mix things together. That's the other thing people don't take into consideration, right? If you're only using that one thing in your own small world, then it might not make a difference. But the second you have to start mixing things together is where you can have some really weird issues. Although, remember I did that how to shoot with cheap lighting thing, whatever. I kept saying it was a $79 one, although I had the lithium one, which wasn't $79. But I shot a bunch of stuff with that flash. It was really good. That's the same flash.
No, but I mean, if I put the A1 in with a B1X, then the color matches, period. If I put a Flashpoint or something else in there, it's sometimes it'll shift, and you have to be doing work that you don't care if it shifts a little bit. The Honey Badger lights are actually really good. They're about $300 to $350 in price, and you used one for an open shoot, an onset. You used the Honey Badger, and for what it was really, it was consistent. It fired, They call it the Honey Badger, by the way, because a Honey Badger eats beehives,
Yeah.
And they wanted to go after the.
They went after LMBs a little bit too late though, because nobody gives a fuck about alien. That's actually the greatest story, because I got to tell you, literally, they were alien B people screaming in the streets just the same way as the.
All right, this guy's
Tom
totally.
Wayne.
Which is your experience, not as a total unit sold.
This is
Okay,
what
I can only go by my experience. So
what I want to say about that is this, because I get that. What I go on when I need something to be reliable is I go on history, and it might suck. Like, I've literally had newer companies come to me and say, when I was in charge of what was shown in Adorama, they'd be like, we want to put our flashes next to the drawing colors or whatever. I'd be like, that flash is not considered blah blah. And they're like, no, you give us a chance. Be around 10 years, become the thing that people go to, then you're there. I don't care, you might really be that good, but there's not enough history behind you for me personally to put my faith in it.
well, that's what we always talk about. We just had a monster new product season. Everybody put out these heavy hitters, and you hear the same term, out in the wild. We need to see this thing in the wild.
Yeah, so once, whatever.
Specs are specs.
There may be, and specs are very misleading, and also some of these long DMs that I get, they reference multiple different examples of.
What's it going? Go finish your thought.
Multiple different examples of how things match or are better or whatever, but they all seem to have different data, and that's because they're inconsistent. Oh, you're not doing it the same way. It's like, okay, yeah, this review over here says this one does this, and this one says this. Yeah, because everybody's doing their own thing. If it's working for you.
Also, I can't tell you how many times something sounded good, and then we actually get the unit, and we'll take it
God.
out of the box, and there'll be screws falling out of a unit. They didn't even build it correctly.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy total units sold in a set. Like these things aren't even built correctly sometimes when they're so cheap. I do like this one where what was his name? Delta
Flashpoint is
Dave.
the same as Godox. Yeah, it is.
Delta Dave says, I don't get a photographer who will spend $3,000 on the camera, $2,000 on a lens, and won't spend more than $400 for a light. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm with you, because in my opinion, light trumps lens, lens trumps camera.
What did Paul pull out of his, when you walked in the other day, you said Paul was setting something up?
Comments.
Comets. How old are those comets? They've got to be like 30 years old.
30 years old. And he never changed the tube on it. And the color was correct. Holy shit. And I own Comets. They were my first studio lights.
Lighting is the kind of thing you can buy and have your entire career. So
If they're right.
If
I
they're
mean,
good.
look at what I'm using, those Speedotrons. You've seen my Speedotrons. They're made out of Radio Shack parts. They're made...
Yeah, that's true.
He's
Who knows
like-
where Godox will be in 5 years. I would like to see it. I bet you they can be great. I mean, I'm not saying they're
I
not good
don't. I
lights.
think honestly, I think Godox will get acquired. I think someone's going to acquire them. They've been open licensing their stuff. They've been doing, a Flashpoint makes the same because Godox it is.
Yeah, Godox and Flashpoint are the same.
Listen, I use whatever you can, but when I'm doing a job that requires something, like when I shot in makeup, I couldn't have color shifts. If I had color shifts on one light and another one didn't match, there is no post on that unless I want to spend forever on it. And have a client over my shoulder that's trying to look for Pantone red 195 on the lip color.
Right, which is why the guy that takes a blank flash, whatever you want to call it, and points it at a gray chart and shoots 50 exposures and then brings it into Lightroom and says, see, there's no color shift, isn't testing it right. You need to test 50 of those flashes on that chart at different exposures and then show me no color shift. Then it's right. Because that's what you get with something like a better program. That's what they do,
Yeah,
But that's how you got to compare stuff.
When I grab something like a Pro Photo, I don't have to think about that as a problem. Everything else that's an issue because photo shoots are just problems. We're just so constantly making solutions. That's something that's off my plate. That means more to me. I'll spend the extra $500 to get that off my plate every time I shoot because we shoot 3 times a week sometimes. Like, it's not a joke. And then the work piles up and then the back end of it. And then you still have to go for clients, chase invoices, email, network. You're still in the game. The last thing I need to worry about is, oh, well, I saved $300 on that fucking flash. Good thing.
Yeah, it is true. You got to think about all those things together. I think it's all part of the situation. But anyways, not to be ranting about that because I already did that once. I will say the same thing is true for C-stands. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
What about C-stands?
That shitty C-stand over there that somebody in our studio, I don't know who brought it in with the fucking
The spring load, yeah.
Oh my God, what a shitty C-stand. Whose C-stand is that?
Well, I also think that's funny, the spring load, right? Like, it's supposed to save your light because if the knob cracks or whatever and your light hits, it won't be a shock. But it is because it has to hit to bounce back up.
Spring-loaded stands are the craziest thing, and they're dangerous.
Air shock stands are crazy too.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of air shock stands.
Well, I had air shocks blow out.
Oh, interesting.
The bottom is all the air shock is a cap on the bottom of the tube.
That's true, makes
So if
sense.
it's not welded, if it literally is just
Like
a
a
cap,
cheap air shock
they'll
thing.
blow through and you'll blow your light. Or worse off, if you shove it down and the air gets compressed and you lock it that way and the knob is faulty, then your light goes in the fucking air. So if you have cheap stands, you're really fucking yourself over.
Yeah, that's why I never liked the air shocker cushion stands. I was always.
I had really expensive air shocks once, and they did do a good. They were really cool.
Well, no,
actually.
but I never liked them because of that idea. I was always thought to myself, unless I know this thing's like down, you know. And also, what's funny to me is that like it was one of those things that was first seen in cheaper brands. Like good stands didn't have air shock.
Are you guys going to demo the B10? We're actually going to be using the B10 live at Comic-Con.
Yeah, we'll use them at
on
B10
Saturday.
with Marissa. No, I already shot Marissa with the B10.
Yeah, what are you guys talking about? That was like one of the best videos. I love that
Oh,
video.
thank you. Fernando shot that.
What is this guy? Agreed again on the history. I routinely buy used gear in several ancient SB28s. Oh, the SB28 is so inconsistent. It is insane. I'm sorry. It was the early days of TTL, so it didn't really know what the fuck it was doing.
Well, yeah, but there's still. Is that the one that has the SU? What do you call it? The SU mode where you can fire it as a camouflage. Yeah, I used to sell those all the time when we first started the pro department in Adorama. And people would come in for cheap flashes. Those are the ones I used to sell. I'd be like, "Don't buy some." No,
They used to be the flagship Nikon.
Yeah, because and that's what I say. It's a flagship Nikon flash with a built-in optical slave. Until they started, because what happened was Vivitar started remaking the 285s really terribly.
Oh,
and
no.
then they got better. The original 285s were fucking awesome.
So Vivitar started selling their designs or opening their sourcing to this company called Phoenix.
Yes.
And that's when they started fucking up. But the Vivitar 285 was like the baller flash. That flash was a beast. With the pull apart zoom head.
Yeah, that's true. LEDs, right? Haven't been around that long to really know much. The one that really has been is light panels. And the thing I appreciate about light panels is that they sacrificed what a lot of people were trying to go after, which is power, to have more consistency in their lights. Even though, and they would even say it's not perfect color because they're not. And they're not as bright, and the reason why is because it keeps it more consistent. And then people would just be like, "No, this cheap one for a third the price is better because it's brighter."
Nothing is worse to me than cheap LED panels.
Oh my god,
They
that's
flicker like crazy. The
Yeah.
color's shit. And also, I found that if you have a dial-in bicolor cheap LED panel, even if it says 3200, you turn it off, you go up the next day, put on 3200, it's not 3200.
Yeah.
It's crazy out there. They're not even doing.
Arri does a good job with them. Kinoflow's got some LEDs.
Kinoflow's
But
dope.
What you gotta do is look for a company that's been around a long time, and then try to go with them. That'd be my advice there. I did like those Mole Richardson ones too, although we had a problem.
I never used Mole Richardson.
But I think it was the faulty electricity at Adorama, because we originally used one as one of the. They had given us one, and we stuck it up to be like the spotlight, and we actually blew it up. So
I know.
yeah, it was before your time. Yeah. Although it may have gotten wet too. But,
It may have gotten wet. Oh, that might be a problem.
I mean, I wasn't around. So LED lighting, nothing around.
Oh man.
B10 with Marissa.
Are you doing a store stream today? We're not doing a store stream today. Oh, it's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
Oh, I totally didn't realize
No,
that.
not until the 18th.
Yeah, we're a little inconsistent right now. Sorry.
Yeah, they were away, and
Yeah, when we forget about it. It's been a
Quality.
it's been a month and a half right now.
I don't know. I hear that a lot. That's now the new
What?
what people were saying about the one car slot. Would you make a car without two seatbelts or whatever? There's a sweet spot. No, there's not.
What are you talking about? Where?
This guy right here, the guy that works for GoDogs.
The guy that works for Godox?
Yeah.
There's a sweet spot?
That's bullshit, because you have to compare things of equal quality. Yes, there's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot in this quality of product, there's a sweet spot in that spot, not in the whole range of quality. I'm sorry, there's just not. Not for people that actually need the stuff to work consistently. Yeah, manual on the SB28s.
Yeah. The SP28.
Oh, I know the new Broncolor Seth saw. I have not seen it yet.
What?
That's the
Oh, the
LED.
F-160. You have to see when they take the head off. We actually show you. They put all varying UV LED bulbs in there. That's how much engineering they had to put into this just to get correct color out of it.
Yeah,
There was it was crazy how much they put into that.
It's interesting. It seems like they're pitching those towards product shooters.
You okay there, Bubby? Yeah? Okay. I don't work for Godox, he says. Okay, then
I'm guessing that the reason why Brian Color is pushing those units is more for product shooters. I think that's what it looks like. You can use all your Brian Color gear, because actually a lot of the high-end Brian Color stuff is sold to product shooters. Believe it or not, everybody thinks it's so glamorous to, we shoot fashion or portrait or whatever. The people that use the really expensive stuff are generally product and food shooters.
How important is high-speed sync to you? Honestly, when it comes to high-speed sync and speed lights, it's not that important to me.
Yeah,
because you have to put them like basically on someone's face for them to actually register. But high-speed sync and a higher power light is amazing, because your light gets cranked all the way up when you go to high-speed sync. If it's not a high-powered light, you're not going to get much out of it for a high-speed sync.
Yeah, I would say that if you, my opinion on that has changed. I used to think you don't really need it. Now I think it's really useful. I mean, it kind of depends on your style. You know,
if you want that shallow depth
and
of
what you
field,
should, if you're in bright light and you want to keep shallow depth of field, high speed sync is important. If you're not in bright light or don't care about shallow depth of field, it's not. It's basically the exact same thing. It's like you could either stop down your lens or use the high speed sync. And the better lights now, or the newer lights, I'll say, are allowing a lower power at high speed sync than they used to. It used to be, it was always
cranked all the way, yeah.
But even most lights still crank at a certain amount, and they have to do that because of the way that they're pulsing the light.
What does it say? What is your preference for corporate headshots, strobes, or constant lights? Strobes, because you don't know what the situation is going to be in the place they put you. So if you're put into a conference room and there's like windows and lights, if you need to overpower the light in the situation to make a good lighting pattern for someone, if you're using constant lights, you're going to be basically mixing it with the light that's in the space at some point. At least with strobes, you have the ability to overpower that. Also, on a psychological level, the people you're going to be shooting are models, and they tend to realize when the rhythm of the shoot is going, because they feel the flash when you took the shot. They kind of understand what's happening.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that also there's a thing that it's uncomfortable on some level to have a bunch of hot lights.
Oh, they're just blazing in you. Yeah.
I also, and I say this all the time, and I think that's why I did the demo where I used a little cheap flashpoint light. It was the difference between flash and constant light. So if you look at that one, it's like an hour-long one. I talk about the main reason to use flash is control. And if you're shooting corporate portraits, that means you're usually somewhere having to shoot, not in your own controlled studio. So like Seth's saying, there's other light there you're gonna have to either overpower or work with. So it's more work to do that.
Yeah.
Even the weakest strobes in most cases will be able to overpower light inside.
Not only that, but if you're gonna work with the light, it's starting to make the decision for you on what it's gonna look like, rather than you being able to.
Yeah, flash is way more control, way more powerful. Ultimately, and I always say this, if you're going to be a stills photographer, ultimately you'll probably end up with flash, even if you start with constant light. So if you're willing to make the effort to learn it right away, learning flash is always a better way to go.
Would you recommend
LEDs for a beginner?
Use LEDs or start from the beginning with flash?
Flash if you're willing to make the effort, and I think it's worth it. And even if you want to start with constant lights, I wouldn't use LEDs. I would use tungsten.
Yes.
It's cheaper,
Yeah.
It's got cleaner color. And
the cleaner color, when you switch your camera to tungsten white balance and you use true tungsten bulbs, the color you get is phenomenal.
Yeah.
People don't realize that sometimes.
Yeah, photo floods are a great way to learn, and they're dirt cheap, and then if you use them and throw them away at the end, you're done. And actually, I use some of my old photo floods in my house with like weaker bulbs in my basement just to light it up.
You and Seth shout redo that? How to photograph women book you showed the other night? Did you show a book?
Oh, we should do it together as Seth being the model, or is he the photographer?
Wait, what happened the other night?
I showed this book. I have the best photo book ever.
Is it dated to death?
It is, but not, because we were talking about posing books, and like this book has like the shot of the girls, like she might be like, and then there's like arrows pointing in different areas, and it'll say like smile, chin up, boobs forward, and it uses the word boobs more times than you can imagine. It is amazing.
I love old photo books. Like I have this one master lighting version 2. It is the most dated fucking book I've ever seen. Like the cheesiness, the taste level. Oh god.
There's also one shot in this book, and I forgot because I started flipping through it after this live stream was over. There's one pose where it says feet. There's like literally an arrow pointing at it, feet, and it says feet are wrong. So like he literally showed an example photo where it's wrong.
You have it here? Do you have it in
I don't have it.
Oh, God. I gotta see
It is
this.
epic.
This is on the stream with Marissa?
Yes.
I gotta watch that.
It
I couldn't
is
get
so
through the whole
good.
thing. It was like 3 hours of you guys
It
talking.
was really long.
For someone starting, I'm looking at the Honey Badger lights. I like portability. Someday I would like to earn enough to get Pro Photo. Honestly, Patty, if you want to get the Interfit lights, go for it, and don't think you always have to get ready to upgrade.
Yep.
Just know those lights. If they are warmer or something, then you adjust for it. But you don't have to say, these will hold me for now till I can get something.
That's right.
Know those lights. Be a ninja with what you have.
That's true. You could work for a long time with lights that are not. Just what I would do in those cases is that if you have a bigger project where you need to rent lights, just rent an entire kit instead of mixing them together.
And if you were going to mix them together, make sure that the Interfits aren't key lights, put them as hair lights or background lights. Because if they're not going to match,
I would just not use them at all.
I'm just saying.
It simplifies your life.
I'm just saying.
Listen, my first lighting kit was a was a Novatron.
My first lighting kit was a candle because the electricity wasn't around when I was a kid.
Actually, I started with constant lights because we didn't have
Everybody
flash.
did, right?
Yeah, I mean flash equipment. You have to understand that we're living in an amazing time. My first flash kit was like $1,500 or $1,600, and that was in like 1995. So that's probably the equivalent of whatever now. And it was what would be considered like the stuff you're getting for $100 now is better or as good.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how cheap everything is. So it's amazing you can get into lighting so easily now.
Yeah, I think it's amazing when people bitch about gear.
Yeah, that's true. One thing is, again, you have to also, and I'm sorry that we don't do this every single time, and people who don't maybe come to this and this is their first time. I would take into consideration like somebody's background when they're giving you any advice or any kind of critique on a piece of equipment. Like it's not like we're just like we woke up one day and had Pro Photo lights and we were like, we're photographers and we can tell you when we read these spec sheets like. We've used a lot.
Or we've worked with people that have had, like I've been on sets when I was younger helping photographers out, and they're spending more time trying to get this thing to do what it wants to do rather than worrying about the shot, and then it's just like a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, you learn stuff over time just by being on sets and being around. So, and also because of the position at Adorama, I mean, I have worked with all the brands.
Well, that's how I got to know you, right? Like I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how to do what I want to do, but then you'd be like, oh, this is a better option for doing that. Like you show me all these things.
That thing there. And I mean, you learn stuff as you go.
But
and I will say too that sometimes there is a lot of cheap stuff that's decent, but it's decent. It's not the same.
It's also sometimes you need cheap gear. Like there's a guy I know that shoots tattoo conventions. He'll buy the cheaper lights. It's good enough for what he's doing, and he'll leave them there because it's cheaper for him to just leave them there than to fly back with them.
I've actually done that with light stands.
Yeah.
I've had to like order them and ship to a hotel that I was going to, do the job, and then because it used to be really hard to fly with light stands because they were so long. I guess it still is. I haven't flown with light stands in a while because they're long, so they're considered oversized baggage, or they used to be.
If they're full size stands, sure.
Yeah, well, I used to, my lights were. I wasn't doing speed lights, so I needed big stands.
Hey, can we talk about that Lasto light reflector?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I showed it off. Do you think a lot of people say it's awesome, but it takes too long to set up? But to me, I'd rather have it. I don't have it. It's at my crib. I was using it last night.
You have it?
Yeah, they gave me one. There's only like 6 of them in the world. They gave me, and they're sending me the diffuser for it. Yeah. So the whole issue is that it's a skeleton that breaks apart and can snap back together with elastic really fast. But it packs down this big, and you put in your bag. It's not a fast put together. Like you got to snap it all together. But at least I know I can always have a reflector on me. Do you think speed over compactability or what?
It doesn't take that long.
Well, I watched the video. So here's the thing. When I first saw it, I thought exactly that. I'm like, why wouldn't I just use a pop-up reflector? This just seems like it'd be way too much work. And then I saw how long it took, and it took a decent amount of time, to my opinion, in the video. And granted, they were demoing it. Maybe as you get better, you can do it faster. What I would say is this, though. I don't use those kind of reflectors that often. So I would like that because I would just keep it with me. And then occasionally when I needed it, it'd be worth the time.
For me,
if I use them every 5 minutes, I'd rather have a folding one.
Well, to me, I had it in my back pocket for the weekend. It was great. And to have a diffuser on it, that means that if I'm out and there's a hard sun, I can just go, boop.
Right, but what I'm saying is this. If I was going to shoot in the park, let's say with the model, and I knew I was going to be doing a reflector for all day and I was going to keep opening and closing it, I wouldn't want to deal with that because I'd have to carry in the circle because I wouldn't want to keep taking it apart. And this is exactly, I have a scrim gym, as you know. When I lived in Miami, I love my scrim gym, but if I knew I was going from place to place with the model, I never used it. I used my Uncle Sam's umbrella, because the Uncle Sam's umbrella, I could just open, use it, close, move. So it depends on what you're doing. I think it's a cool thing though. I would probably go that direction.
The technology is interesting because the same breakdown of that skeleton, the circle, they have for a 4-foot strip box. So that means I can take a 4-foot strip box this big in my bag.
Oh no, it seems awesome.
That's nuts.
What about the speed ring?
What?
But then plus the speed ring.
Well, there's an adapter, yeah, like
that giant adapter.
Well, it's only like, you know, whatever. But even still, to take the 3-foot strip that I took to Europe, it was like this. Like the rods are 3 feet. This thing was like this. I could just shoved it in a bag. It was amazing. I can't wait to see where they go with this thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. I mean, again, my first impression of it was, that seems a bit like overkill, but it's also the beginning of a new technology that could go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be.
And I do think for somebody like me, I would buy it because if I had the extra cash, because it would be something that I wouldn't use that often, but that I know I always have. Like, I almost never bring a pop-up reflector because I don't use them that much. But every once in a while, I'm out and I need a reflector, and I'm just like, fucking a reflector.
Yeah, fuck.
Like, and for me, it would be worth the.
Put your face closer to the concrete; it'll reflect the light. Yeah, just get your face to this.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like $250 or $300, whatever, that money is worth it for the one job I saved because I had it with me.
Well, for me, when I was packing for Europe, I wanted to have as many options as possible because I didn't know what the fuck I was shooting. I was going to shoot like 6 times over this month, and I wanted to have versatility. So for me, it's like if I can pack down a bunch of crazy modifications and jam in this bag, that leaves my head open to go, whatever I need, I got it. Is it something I would use for a studio, to have in like an actual studio? No, it's a travel kit to me.
Right.
You know?
No, that's it. I mean, every and it's funny because this is what sucks. Everybody wants that one kit that'll do everything, but in the reality,
it's just never that.
It becomes not that. I mean, if you buy what you think you do the most of, and then
get to know what you're doing, and then you can make things do what you need them to do. If I only have this, well, I know this is the properties of it. I can make it do that. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Folding
Which video has the book?
dishes.
The book is with the. The last video I did with Marissa.
Do folding beauty
Maybe I'll
dishes,
do another one just on that.
Do you think folding beauty dishes are as good as solid ones? I personally don't.
Absolutely not.
They don't have the same look.
And I'll say they're not as good as, meaning if you want the look of a beauty dish. None of them really. The closest one is the Shamira one, in my opinion, which was the first one.
It looks like a shoot-through umbrella the way it shoots.
Yeah, they don't look like a beauty dish. But they're good. I mean,
The shadow transitions aren't as sharp to me.
Yeah, they're not as punchy for some
That's
reason.
it. They're not like this.
They don't have that punch that a beauty dish has. I don't know why. They just don't. The Shamira one is the most kind of bowl shape, so I think it actually works the best. But also, I think part of it is that
Depth.
most of the people that are using those types of things are using them with like speed lights and stuff, and a speed light doesn't look the same
No,
as a beauty
well,
dish anyways.
if you don't have a 360 expulsion,
Yeah, you need that expulsion. Because and you see a lot of bad information in videos where people talk about that thing in the middle of the beauty dish is because the light's supposed to bounce off of it and
then fill in.
That's not the truth.
No, you're supposed to go from the sides and wrap, and then take out the hot in the middle.
That takes out the hot spot in the center. That's not meant to be bouncing. Really, your light shouldn't be hitting that.
What you're really doing is taking the source of the 360 and wrapping that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of an interesting concept, but when you use a true beauty dish and you start realizing exactly what's happening there, you'll notice. Especially when you're trying to get that look again.
And you'll kind of hate it because then you know you need the beauty dish and they're a bitch to carry.
They are a bitch to carry.
Yeah, but again, if you just want, I think if you like a small octa-ish look, the foldable beauty dishes with the cover, you can get a couple of looks out of it because you can do it like the beauty dish style, which is like a shoot-through umbrella, like you said. Like you can use it without the diffusion, but with the thing in the middle, and then take that away and put diffusion in the front and use like an octa.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So it's got some options, so they're decent. I mean,
what does it say? Are you consider buying a new camera or other gear given the latest releases? I am not buying a new camera because I don't believe in Gen 1. I don't believe in Gen 1 anything. I don't care what the company is.
I want to buy the X1D, but I am paranoid they're about to come out with a new camera because that camera's been around for a bit. But I think they may have been waiting for Fuji, and honestly, Fuji's cameras look interesting, but I don't think
that
interesting
50R
enough.
is.
But I don't think it looks interesting enough to scare us.
You're liking that 50R.
They look really nice. I love Fuji, but I don't think it. I was hoping it was going to be close enough that Hasselblad was going to be like, "Oh shit, we better do something." But it doesn't seem.
X Pro 2 medium format.
X Pro 2 medium format.
Giganto Pro 2. It's like I thought Seth was a child holding it.
That's what I said, right? It looks like a cartoonish. Remember the 672 from Pentax? It looked like an oversized SLR. You're like,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
it's awesome.
It's awesome, but
It was
yeah,
crazy
so-
light and fast for what it was.
So for me, yes, I am looking to buy something, but I'm probably going to get an X1D, which is
What's a good wattage for lights? As far as what, strobe or constant?
Well, using 2 speed lights double your flash power does not work like that. If you use 2 speed lights of equal power, you'll get 1 more stop of power, which will double your light. Exactly. And if you use 4 of them, you'll get 2 more stops.
But at that point, you're
then
you're
your
in
stem starts
pretty
getting
deep. And the
ridiculous.
grip is insane too, by the way. Would love to see Seth do a shoot with the flash benders. I've done the flash bender thing a lot at Adorama. I did that. I use flash benders for everything.
Yeah.
I have 4 of them. It's a
Actually,
great little piece.
Nikon D850 launch.
What
video.
they do? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I use
That's
them a
on-
lot in the strip light mode. I think that's like my favorite mode for that. You got a box.
I always
of
feel
them.
like they're cool, and I think Price said that thing, and I'm happy they sent it to me. But I think it's funny that when they pitched him at first as like for wedding photographers, I just don't see the like walking around with this giant flash thing.
No, it's a really quick throw on and it doesn't take up much space, but it's a really quick throw on if you're trying to do a studio type setup and you need to flag.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things ever, and the strip is really cool. I don't like the softbox mode.
Yeah, I mean they're okay, and they produce these. I just think they look silly because they're so gigantic.
Yeah, and you also need a strong head because if your head doesn't lock, they're pretty heavy.
Let's see. What's a
Jeez.
good wattage? It depends. We'll have to see Seth do flash benders. I like winning the camera.
Killer deals on gear. You ruled out the Joel Grimes Beauty-ish by Westcott. I don't even know that one.
I'm not sure what that is.
I never heard of
I'd
that.
have to look it up. But if it's a pop-up beauty
So
dish?
he's
it's
asking
probably-
wattage for strobe. Well, you figure a speed light is 75 watt seconds. You figure any beginner light is probably 150 to 250 wattage. So it depends on what you're doing, what your space is. Do you need to overpower the light in the situation? How far of a distance you need to
How
get
big of a
exposure.
modifier you're gonna put on
what
it?
depth of field you want out of your shot. If you want to close down depth of field and get a lot of things in focus, you're going to need more power.
So the short answer is, if you're somewhere where you can do it, rent something and see where you're at.
Or if you do rent something that's like 500
Yeah.
watt seconds, if you're not pushing it hard, then you
Then you
don't
can go
need
lower.
500 watt seconds.
Well, that's what I mean. You rent like a 500 watt second light, which is kind of the middle ground, and then use it and see if it's enough or it's way too much, and you can go from there.
Hey Seth, did Dave keep a copy of the video he shot day 1 of Photokina where he kept panning to the hot blonde in the fishnets? I have no idea what he's talking about.
The new.
There was a blonde in fishnets? Where was I? There was a hot blonde at Photokina? There's a...
I mean, you were in Germany, aren't there a lot of blondes in Germany? That's like a.
Can I say this trip had the most amazing women? Like Europe, good job. Good job.
Let's not be creepy on my channel.
This isn't being a creep, I'm just praising. You know. Can you explain what watt seconds means? Go for it. Capacitors.
Not really. I will say this. I mean, I'm not going to explain scientifically. A watt second is just a measure of the potential power that something can hold.
Yeah, if you're looking at the power of something, your best is to look at the guide number.
Yeah.
That's more of a measurement of the.
Right. It's a potential amount of energy. Right. That's why if you look at Broncolor, they don't even call it that. They call it like a more scientific term. I forget what they call it now, but they call it something else. But anyways, look at what they call it. It's basically a potential of power. Then that does give you a base of kind of, everything being equal, a more high watt second light should potentially be more powerful because it's got more energy. However, efficiency is actually one of, if not the most important things.
Will the flash bender work on the A1? It
I
will, but it's
used it.
a little iffy because.
Yeah, because the head on the A1 doesn't really lock properly,
That's-
and also you got to like finesse it to get it on there.
Yeah, it.
Okay, I might be live again. I can't tell because I'm on a delay. Oh, I still see Seth talking. Nope, Seth's looking. I might be live. It's hard to say. Oh, so you're back. Okay, good. I'm back. I just can't see myself. All right. Seth is not there. Now somebody's calling me. Hopefully that doesn't kill the stream. Am I still live now? Somebody just called me. Okay, guys. Okay, am I still back? Okay, good. Sorry, guys. Now everybody's gonna start calling me, and all hell's gonna break loose. So Seth went for a meeting, but Let's see. If you're doing still life product photography, you'll need a lot of watt seconds. Yes, I agree with that 100%. Normally, if I'm going to do product stuff, I break out my old. Even though I have the monolights now, I usually break out my old 2400 watt second pack just so I have lots of oof. Although it has a slower flash duration, so if I'm doing splashes and stuff, I can't do that. Great to see you guys. Do you have any particular camera system preferences in terms of lighting system compatibility and options? I don't. In an ideal world, your lighting shouldn't have anything to do with the cameras. You know, I mean, I guess in the case of if you use like, let's say, a camera that, like back in the film days, if you use a large format camera, you have to have a lot more power for 4x5 or whatever. But generally speaking, you should be fine with any camera with any flash. I mean, you know, unless you're doing TTL, then you know, obviously some cameras do it and some don't. Seth isn't here, so I'm going to come in closer to me because I'm going to be that guy. So yeah, I mean, you've got. I mean, Seth is an Icon guy when he uses ProPhoto. I use and also Speedotron. I used a bunch of different kind of cameras. I don't think it's really. I don't know. Do you think a recommendation for or preferences for camera systems to lighting compatibility?
Camera systems for lighting? Wow. I
Do you
think my only issue would be something that doesn't have a lot of options remote-wise. Like, there's plenty of cameras out there that their systems don't make remotes for, you know? Like,
Yeah,
you won't find a Panasonic remote for a lighting systems too easily.
Right, but that really only matters if you're doing like a TTL system because most generic.
Oh, it'll
remotes-
fire. It'll dumb fire.
Yeah, you know, so I don't think it should really make a difference.
Nah, I don't think so. So as long as you have a way to trigger, like a PC Connect or something like that.
Yeah. Man, sorry about that drop off, guys. Apparently, I should plug it in. I thought we said, oh, we're going to do like a 10-minute quick live stream, and then it was an hour. So I guess I should prepare for that next time. So by the way, in my video on the Mevo, because people keep asking me, is going to come out tomorrow. I already have it scheduled. I made a quick video. If you're going to buy the Mevo, so listen to this part. You want to use it for more than an hour or so, you got to plug it in. It only has about an hour battery life, but the boost will give you a lot more. Cool. Was there anything else? I think we dropped away just to come back. Was there any questions we missed, guys?
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
what happened
look,
there.
this happened to row your boat.
What happened?
They start singing row your boat when we're not gone.
Keep a copy. Did down. Didn't see a flag and a card. I think we did that. No.
No, I didn't. We didn't know.
Flag and a card. In my opinion, a flag is rigid. A flag needs a skeleton. But either way, flagging a light just means that you're blocking the light from spilling somewhere you don't want it to.
You mean like using like a piece of foam core versus an actual flag? I mean, I think the main difference, well, in fact, number one, a flag is made out of duvetine, and duvetine is non-reflective.
A flag could, a card could still reflect technically.
Yeah. Also, a flag has a pin on it to go into a C-stand more precisely. So you're going to have a little bit more precise aiming with the flag.
Yeah,
And as you mentioned, the rigidity. So if you have anything that's like really long, like if I want it to be like this, like a finger, you know, the ones that are called fingers are like 3 feet long and only this wide. If you take a piece of foam core and you cut it like that, eventually it's going to start sagging where a card will stay strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you know, cards don't hold up over time. I mean, you cramp them, you crush them, you stab them, you get them. You know, cards are a knockaround toy for.
I haven't seen the Joel Grimes dish. It's the more round it is, the better it'll be. Joel Grimes is awesome, and I'm sure he does a great job with it. But I don't think I still don't think, in my opinion, any of the ones I've tried, which has been maybe 6 or 7 of them, have really looked like a beauty dish to me, like comparable. I mean, that's and I'm saying not saying they're bad. In fact, I have the silver and the white versions of the ProPhoto one, but you still see me using my hard beauty dish all the time.
Lost power.
Streamer. Jewels is the word I was talking about from Broncolor. They call it jewels because they're Broncolor and you have to pay extra for the words. So no, because they're measuring the. See, I joke, but Broncolor is actually one of the main purchasers of like the super high end Broncolor flashes is amusement parks. And why do amusement parks use Broncolor? Because they are crazy reliable. I mean, they're spending $30,000 for a Broncolor pack to shoot you going like this. Why? Because they shoot 50,000 pictures a day with it. I mean, that's the reason why. So again, if you don't do that, you know, it might not be for you. Lost power to the stream. Oh, that was me. I said that. Go make coffee. I wish I could make coffee. Now I know I can drop the stream and come back. That's good to know.
If you're doing still life photography, you'll always need a lot of watt seconds. I would say minimum 1,000 watt seconds. That's not true.
Well, the thing is, watts should be a sufficient nomenclature. I think the reason why they call it watt seconds versus watts is because even now people are confused by that, because people will say, no, 500 watts, I had a 500 watt bulb, and that's not right at all. It's like, it's not watts in that sense. So once somebody said something about it's the equivalent power as you'd have of doing 1 second on
No,
500 watt.
that can't be
It's
right.
not true. But yeah, I once saw that somewhere. I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
It sounds like some forum shit where there's a lot of like fake info.
Just make stuff up.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. But it sounds good though. It's like light speed. Okay. If you're doing still life products, you need more power. Yes, that's true. Sorry guys, roll back. Okay, they go back up. Can a torch be used as modeling light when using flash? Sure. I mean, you won't see what the light's gonna do, but it'll help you focus.
The German lady at the GoPro stand liked you, Seth. We could tell. She was a fun lady. Isabel, I think Isabella, something like
Don't
that.
get her name wrong on stream now.
She was one of the funnest reps. Sometimes you get these reps that are stiff or can't talk. We actually did. Remember, we had one rep that couldn't speak any English, and I had to
That's the best.
have a complete conversation with them.
Hold on, I think I saw that one.
No, you didn't. No one saw it.
No
No
one
one
saw
saw it. I get a gold star for that.
He hasn't seen it, so you're.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't
There
seen
was
it.
definitely a couple where it seemed unclear if that for some reason, and I think maybe the world is getting smaller as we go. And it's been a while since I've done a lot of stuff in Europe, but I remember going to Europe and realizing that the sense of humor in Europe is slightly different than it is here in America. So where I am hilarious in America, in Europe they just stare at me.
No, yeah,
No, I am
sure, you're hilarious.
hilarious.
Okay. Now we'll just leave that one alone. Great to see you guys. Do you need a camera system? No. Can a torch be used to improvise modeling light when using flash?
Yeah.
There's actually some lights that exist out there that are just like, they're almost like bike lights. They put them on bikes, but they have a Velcro strap to put on the
to put
head.
on for like a
I actually have a
speed
few of those. I strapped them to the pole dancers. There's yeah, I mean, why not? It's just, what do you need the modeling light for is what you have to ask yourself. With speed lights, I think the advantage is just to close the iris down if you want to.
Yeah, but then you don't have to have it coming from the direction of the flash. either.
No, but you just need,
Yeah, for me, like if you're using it to focus, then I would just keep it at the camera position and shine it on people. I do that even sometimes with the bigger flashes if I need to have really more
What's
light
the
on them.
difference between a beauty dish and a molasses beauty reflector? I don't know what that is.
A molasses, a mole.
I don't
Mola?
know. A molar?
Mola?
Is that an auto correct thing?
Did autocorrect correct mola to molasses? Because that is amazing.
What is a molasses beauty reflector?
So
Does it make everyone look like Amber? Does it get...
So mola dishes are basically beauty dishes. They do have that ribbed thing, so they've got like this kind of really smooth feeling to them. But actually, don't tell anybody. The Speedotron dish has the same shape. But what's great about mole dishes is
I have a beauty eye.
that they make different deflectors. So again,
I got
if
one.
you talk about the reason that people use beauty dishes, that plate in the middle is supposed to stop the light from creating a hot spot. But mole makes different ones to go in there to actually let the hot spot exist, but to exist different. Yeah, there it is.
This is a Speedotron beauty dish.
And if you notice, it looks just like it.
So you can actually take
And you can screw those off the back and then buy a speed ring for your setup and build your own mola if you only care about the size.
The only thing is mine's a little special because my
Yeah, you go.
deflector plate is translucent,
Right, which is what you can get with the molas.
which is cool.
And I don't
because-
think you can put a mola plate on here, so you're stuck with the original beauty, unless you want to model. How'd you do that?
I
You see
want
it?
it.
Oh, nice.
But I just like that because I think the transition from highlights is
I
smoother.
think one thing that we're missing in the photo world that they used to be, and this is even before my time, like I came in at the end of it, is people used to mod the crap out of shit.
Yeah, but now they don't have to because like people are trying to sell you the next thing. So if they see mods, they end up making something.
Yeah.
Like we used to make our own soft boxes or speed lights.
Yeah.
Now I'm not even in the frame. Now there's actually speed light. There's actually speed light boxes which didn't exist. I remember when I was making Chimera boxes. Do you remember the whole thing? I had an L bracket and two roto things and shoes out the ass and all sorts.
It
of
is true.
stuff.
Like I think I showed it when I did one of the demos. I had my little PhotoFlex softbox I used to use for speed lights. I literally just took a cheesy speed ring from a cheap flash, and I used cardboard and cut the right size for a speed light. Some people used to do. I mean, maybe people still do it. I don't know. Let's see. Torch be used. Okay, have you posted the Capture One versus Lightroom? I have not. However, if you watch the live stream on Adorama on the 16th, it is going to be specifically on tethering. And I am going to use both Lightroom and Capture One on that. And we're going to talk about some differences there. So that will be on Adorama's channel on the 16th. They wanted to do a video on tethering, so yeah.
Americans don't have a sense of humor. Oh, here's Dave.
Then Dave!
What is this? What is this, a weekday?
I'm German.
What is this?
I always like your softbox jokes. Thank you.
Wait, what was the softbox joke?
If you're going to drop something on the model, it should be a softbox because it's yes, he doesn't like it. Mola, Americans don't like it, don't have a sense of humor. That is probably true. We just have a terrible sense of humor. Or maybe it's too simplistic. But yeah, so there's a quick hack for you for all the people that say we only have expensive stuff. Buy that Speedotron beauty dish. Buy a cheap speed ring. Don't buy a good one because you don't need it for your brand, and just put it on there and you're done. You basically made your own.
That's
model.
actually a really great beauty dish.
It is. It's actually one of the best beauty dishes, and if I needed another one, I would buy that instead of buying the photo one.
It is deeper, so it has a different look to it, and the translucent deflector is definitely a different look.
Yeah. I guess maybe it might narrow the field. I never measured it, but Dave's rocking out. What's going on, Dave? What's your favorite focal length for portraits?
What does that say?
What's your favorite focal length for portraits? I think I answered this last time.
I don't actually. You see me stretch and shrink my lens like crazy.
His favorite focal length is 24 to 120.
yeah. Hey,
That's true.
And you see me use every inch of that
He's
fucking
like-
thing. Yeah, but I'm always so fuck you. I get more variety. What do you want? Yeah, go lick a dick.
4.5.
If I had to pick 1 millimeter, I'd probably say 105.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought you would have went long.
I just like the way it shapes and the way the depth of field sits on it. But
That's interesting because I feel like you shoot a lot more wide than you do long.
I think I fall to that because I always look at something and to me a clean portrait looks boring after a while, and I go, hey, what does my mother's chin look like? Really warped out in the lens, you know? And I go, I'm a big believer in filling the frame. You know, I just always had that in me. So wide angles make you do that. They force you to do that.
Yeah, it's true. I actually I'm going to do something on the Eric's booth at Photo Plus, and I got to shoot a bunch more with that lens. I've been slacking on that.
That lens is
Get more
dope.
into my-
If
it's
you
so
guys
good.
get a chance to play with an Irix, I think it's called Irix or Irix.
I call it Eric's, but
The
it's
15
probably
millimeter is
Yeah.
really nice.
I know the 11 has like a lot of potential. Like it's a good clean lens, but I can't get that field of view. in
No,
my
there's
head.
something off when you're
It's
trying to do a
so wide.
yeah, but like it's only 4 millimeters off of the 15.
Well, 4 out of 15 is what percent?
but yeah, it's
know, so
it's
it's-
crazy. But what's cool about this lens is that the front is flat enough to take a normal filter
Yeah.
on the front. So if you want to put a polarizer on there or so whatever else you could.
And did you guys see the 150 by the way? I meant to ask you to check it. Eric's came out with a 150.
What?
I know.
Where the fuck were we?
I know. I was waiting for the video to come out. No, so were they.
Yeah, I know what you said. We were literally right there.
So for me, I generally shoot with a 50.
You like to be
So opposite
6.5
airbags for
feet
speedlights.
away.
Yeah, so exactly. Oh no, but yeah, right. This is not a proper portrait because you're not so many meters away. That was so funny. What's your favorite focal length? I've said that. Can you talk about creating a more relaxing environment for models? Marijuana? No, I don't do that.
Honestly, if you're, I don't know. People always ask about the models. Like,
Yeah. 1976 Nikkor 105.
I have that.
2.5.
I have that lens.
That is a beautiful lens.
I have that lens and it's beat to death.
I'm pretty sure I have that with an EOS adapter in the closet there somewhere.
Wikipedia says watt seconds of a flash is half. What?
Capacitance of the storage capacitors for its times working. Oh, that makes sense.
I can't see shit. I can't.
But yeah, it definitely has nothing to do with the flight. That's what I'm saying. It was one of those things that I saw. Of course, Wikipedia is not always right.
Listen,
but-
watt seconds is another thing that
That's
people
right.
get caught up in numbers, right? Higher megapixel, more watt seconds. Like people get caught up in these spec numbers.
Well,
man.
that's because that's what all they have. The thing is, if you've never used anything, it's hard to know what to get. So I get that reason for that. So I
But don't look up efficiency of lighting because I swear those A1s on this Europe trip gave me more, like at least a stop more of light just on the efficiency of the head that I'm used to with speed lights.
Right, because you also have to consider, like, okay, speedlights. We should do a whole video on this, but like the way that you zoom the head is different too than on the A1. So that when you zoom the head, you get more power out of it, but it's also very ugly because it's just the way the light is.
It's
zoomed
just a
in.
block of light.
Yeah.
It's a freaking wall.
Yeah, so
It's-
it's really tricky to know, but yeah, that is a beautiful lens though. Creating more relaxing environment.
Just ordered my Speedatron dish. No, don't do that till you go to his affiliate links.
Yeah, no, get it from. No. Just I lost my $3. No, go for it. Yeah. Let me see a picture when it's done. How do you make a more relaxing environment? I mean, I just try to be chill. I guess I'm a pretty relaxing person. I mean, I don't know. The thing I don't let people do is play their own music. F that.
Oh, yeah, we're big on I can't stop yawning. We gotta end this soon.
Yeah, we do have to end it.
When I'm drinking coffee right now.
Seth's falling
We went to
asleep.
your favorite place, George's.
Oh, hold on.
Seth, when you used the Z7, you talked about one-to-one with the EVF. Do you mean that you can zoom in the LCD like an 850 in live mode, or something new with the actual viewfinder? So what I'm talking about is that you can, when you're doing autofocus punch in, this actually lets you punch in so close it's a 1-to-1 ratio, which means that it's basically real life size of a macro while you're trying to autofocus. It was crazy.
So it's basically the same thing. The 850 can do it in live view, right? If you go live view in the 850.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't used live view enough in the 850 to say if it can or not.
It probably
but
can.
I'm sure it
Can.
Makes
does.
sense. You go to 1-to-1, so you're seeing actual pixels.
What is an A1? An A1 is, I think it's Worcestershire sauce with no.
You're such a dick. How long do you edit
it's a
photos?
photo flash.
How do you any tips for presets? I try not to edit at all. I try to just, my biggest problem is choosing the freaking frame.
If you mean edit, as in like
Cull it down.
like color grade, I mean, if it takes me more than 20 seconds or so to
Yeah.
get my photo where I want, then I didn't shoot it right.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Look at your shot while you're shooting it and try to adjust for what you want on the spot.
Yeah.
It'll save your life, and the next time you go to shoot, you'll be faster, more calibrated.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time. The only time that I'd spend a decent amount of time doing any heavy Photoshop something is usually if I know that's the case and I just have to deal with it at the end, because either it's a special effect that I want to do that can only be done that way,
Or a crop in.
or it's just something that you just can't do anything about. Somebody has a giant pimple on their forehead, you gotta take it out. But that doesn't take so long. I'm terrible at Photoshop, so you know. Do you think the new Godox magnetic system with the round head will kill Magmod?
Nope, I don't.
I don't think so, because a
It's
lot
not
of
the
things
same.
kill things, and no.
It's not even, it's not the
yeah.
same.
Magmod is like more of a generic thing that goes on a whole range of stuff where that's its own thing. Like everybody would have to, right? Everybody would have to buy that flash to use it. So I would say nothing that's specific to that. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Magmod is kind of interesting.
I
We'll use
actually
it for
just
like a
sold all my
second.
Magmod stuff off. I
Well,
wasn't
you're
into
moving
it.
to A1s versus Speedlights.
Well, I just
A1
wasn't into
sauce,
it.
that
I don't
was
like
fun.
having this crazy magnet 3 inches from my laptop inside a photo bag. It's like crazy to me.
Yeah.
I think
Cell phones are dangerous too. You shouldn't have those.
a magnet close to a laptop, a hard drive, an LCD, like the last thing you need is this thing doing something because you had a magnet. Like, I don't know.
Gremlins.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Magnets
crazy.
are-
I'm just crazy, everybody.
Magnets are wizards.
That's exactly.
You don't think magnets are gonna fuck up a laptop? No, you don't think a magnet's gonna fuck. Look at me. You don't think magnet's gonna fuck up a laptop? I mean,
I mean, I don't think so, but I really don't know enough about it.
you put a magnet near a TV when we were kids, it was gone.
Right, but when you were a kid, TVs weren't what they are now.
Solid state drive. You don't think a magnet would wreck a solid state drive on some
Let's
level?
test it. Should we do a test?
They actually don't. The solid state drives actually don't run off.
Actually, that might not.
I don't. It's all
Yeah,
electric.
the
It's all
opposite
about
is what I
electric
would
fields.
think. Yeah,
Who knows
because it
what's
might
gonna
pull it
happen?
off the. We're gonna do a test. Maybe we'll do something. We'll see if a magnet will destroy an alien bee.
It'll for sure.
That means we have to get an alien bee. That means we have to get.
I want to get a green one.
We gotta end this.
Worcestershire.
soon. We gotta end
Oh,
this.
we're
soon.
saying I'm not saying it correct. It's not Worcestershire. Dude.
We cry laughing. All right, guys. I think we're gonna cap it out.
All right. So you can't say that I'm funny because then Seth gets mad.
If it's an SSD laptop, you should be okay.
matter, yeah.
If you have an SSD, it doesn't matter. I don't know. To me, I just don't want to play games with a magnet because it took me less seconds to put a modifier on my fucking flash.
Luckily, he has 2 card slots. So even
Oh,
if it
shit.
was,
You know what? How
Yeah,
about
I
I
don't-
just cry about whatever.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I may have done a video on Magmon when it first came out. I can't remember, but I've not used them extensively, so I can't say one way or the other. It seems like a decent system. I mean, I have no problem just putting Velcro strips with tape on my flash. I'm just old.
Well,
school
not
like
even that. Like, you look at the last light systems; they're just like a rubber crank down.
Oh my god! Do you remember when we saw? Was it LumaQuest? And that woman showed us how to use the strap the right way. Although you were hard to do that. Apparently, I was doing the strap the wrong way the whole time.
She was so excited.
Yes, she was awesome. We'll see you at Photo Plus. Hopefully, I can't remember your name now because I call it George's Coffee.
All right.
Nice.
Cool.
All right, cool.
All right, guys,
Well, if they're
thanks.
reliable for you, good for you.
If you guys are going to be at Photo Plus, we both will see you there. I
Yeah,
guess.
check us out. We'll be at Photo Plus wandering around
If you're
aimlessly.
in New York and you're going to Comic-Con, Saturday noon at Cosplay Central by the press room, we will be shooting live.
Yeah, we're going to shoot some cosplayers.
You're going to be live on the 16th and 18th at Adorama. And I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, and then just subscribe if you don't already or whatever. If you're finding this randomly, Seth's. I only put your Instagram, but Seth is here on YouTube at Seth Miranda.
Just go anything.
I'll put it in the
you,
description.
you can find me on anything / Last X Witness. Okay,
Oh.
done.
Last X Witness.
Done.
Last X.
I'm gonna punch you in your fucking face.
Okay, guys, I'm out before Seth kills me.